mobile platform. Also Mountain Dew, the proud official beverage, where they quench our tears of fueling as well for PMGC, the next generation of gaming talent. And also we want to thank winning Kuala Dubai right now. We are so honored to have Dubai Tourism and Dubai Sports Council as our location sponsors, and we thank them for making this for their support and making the event in Dubai possible. I want to shout out as well for our talents and previous host casters and analysts: Jason Kaplan, Maxman, Seven Worlds, John Allen, Blankheart, Jukes Imperium, Wolfie, Oflo, and also Old Doggy. Thank you guys for being such a great comrade that helping us so much, giving information and help us through all this challenging moment when it comes to the finals of PUBG Mobile Globals. But we're down to the fourth game here. Back to Erangel we go.
Yep, and thank you so much to everybody as well for helping us out. However, to ensure that you guys are enjoying the game here as well, we are going to be taking towards the flight path here in the Erangel. Here we saw the flight path passing towards the southwest corner, a pretty southeastern approach coming from all these teams here. But the circle is going to be pushing towards the northwest section of Georgia Bowl. So a pretty interesting gameplay playstyle here. It's going to be somewhere in the vicinity of 70. It is also somewhere in the vicinity of Georgia Bowl here. So we may or may not know where the circle may happen here. But both sides of the terrain has very, very different unique play styles here. Whereas 70 is going to be a lot of long-range gunfights all from the get-go. But on the southwest corner, it's going to be a lot of compounds to worry about here. Whereas the Georgia Bowl apartments as well is going to be something that is extremely hard to play because there is so many cover to actually play in that regards that you.
And now, sorry for that. PUBG Mobile, sorry, the Wrangle map, we've talked about Navi before here, Icy, and oh boy, he seems to be getting himself a bit too far than the rest of the team, but he's going to be A-okay now back to, and reunite with them. I think that's a really important position where he was before. He got the idea where the other teams were about and going to relay back the information towards his teammate, but I'm not sure about Smoke though. How he ended up landed here alone, and it's going to be an easy kill for iShots. Hopefully he can fish him out. Yeah, but at the same time, they only have M16. I'm not sure this is a good idea. Oh, man.
Well, he's looking for information here. They want to get those free KPs. And that's the thing about the flight path, right? Like any teams rotating from the western side, they are going to be looking for vehicles, right? We're going to be seeing huge teams contesting for those mobility to get those positioning here. And in this case, this is going to be one of those moments here because Navi, he's stuck here. Smoke, there's nothing you can do. All you got to do is just pray the team secret waste a lot of time and they say, you know what, I'm going to give up and bail. But guess what? Looks like it's going to be the perfect trap here because right now, the rest of Navi is going to be providing the assist here. And Yuhai and iShots, they don't know what's up. They roughly have an idea. They heard a couple of movements coming in. Yuhai needs to get out of position because right now, he's out in the open. He may get shot and he's going to get caught. The perfect trap indeed. The saviors in disguise. Matik is going to go in for the saves here. And Yuhai now going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to get knocked here. And iShots is pretty much left alone as well. He's got the vehicle. He's going to make a run for it. And oh boy, he's going to go for the spray transition. He almost traps him and iShots in a small collision. He's down towards the last tick of his health. He doesn't have a lot of mats here. It's all up to iShots to clutch it and save for the team here. Can the rest of the team save the day for Team Secret? Because as of now, we do see shots coming in. Oh boy, gets tagged up from afar. The Rex is potentially trying to help him out, but iShots, he's trapped, and Navi knows it. They are going to go chase here. Matoy still very, very far away here. As he's going to be swimming across, going for the save. iShots, he's going to get run over. Here comes Navi, and eventually iShots gets sprayed down. Navi, they won't lose one in the process here, but they got the job done. Team Secret, they lose not one, but two in the process. Oh my goodness, what a crazy greed here coming from Team Secret. Greed is not good indeed here, Chu.
They overstayed themselves. They got the golden opportunity, didn't take that as fast as they can, and they overstayed the moment they didn't have anything on them. That's just not wise for them to just... It's too long. It was too long. They have M16 in their hands. They just jumped down. I don't know what they were thinking for Team Secret. Now Rex trying to amend and do a little bit of damage control. But I have to say it's a bit too late and too far. They are across the street. But Mato with that distance... Holy smoke, how did he actually shot with that far kind of distance with rifles? If I'm not mistaken, just now. He still managed to pin down one for Navi, but he cannot finish off Old Boy straight away. He got covered. His vision is not clear. There's some vegetations in between that gives a lot of advantage for Navi's side. But in the meantime, they don't have any smokes. He kind of picked out a bit of Boy's backside. And then Mato tried to finish the job, seal the deal, while Smoke also doesn't have any helmets. And that's a great distance shooting out from that rifles. Mato is still not done yet, but in the meantime, this is what I mentioned before. Do they have enough resources to actually prolong this kind of war? And Rex is really far across from Mato. Same goes for Navi. They cannot finish off the job straight away. So Navi in the meantime knows that they cannot do the same mistake as a Secret did. They figure things out. They're gonna rotate where Mattoy at the moment. And I'm not sure if they can caught him red-handed. Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. One in Jogopool, so many teams actually occupying hospital area. Maybe everybody trying to merge into the Galkar Mountains. But we're gonna have to wait and see where the circle ended up and be at. But it seems like Navi is really persistent when it comes to chasing down the rest of Team Secret.
Well, this is a really rough game here coming from Navi and Team Secret here, considering it took so much time in this initial elite phase here. Almost 7 minutes has pretty much passed here. Navi is pretty much underlooted, likewise for Team Secret here. And this is actually going to cost them potentially the game unless they do something about it here. Because as of now, Navi, they had to sacrifice Oh Boy. There's no point committing for the save because considering that how much time has been wasted here, they're opting to go and rotate and stock up some utilities here. Meanwhile, likewise for Team Secret here, they got one kill, they lost two of potentially their star players coming from Team Secret here. This is gonna be rough here. Hopefully things will be better for them because as you can see just now early on, the maps has already showed themselves here. A lot of teams are already making their way into the Georgia Pole, and like I said, in Georgia Pole, it's a different terrain. It's going to be urban warfare all the way through. So we're going to be expecting a lot here. Meanwhile, BTR, Luxy actually falls down here as footballers do kind of get a game coming in here. And BTR, they want to try and save the day here as can they catch up the guys from footballers as Luz going to be tanking the zone here. Gets a couple shots into his BTR, but unfortunately they will try and back off. Meanwhile, BTR, they are going to try and save up Succeed as they are getting a couple of suppress shots from afar. Raul will get the nice knock onto his Ryzen, but they are still taking the zone from the side of footballers. As of now, footballers, they have not made much plays yet. Do they want to go in for the finishing move? Because the circle is relatively far away from their usual drop spots here, too.
And then we're looking at them tanking the blue for the first phase. It's still okay, it's bearable, but it's worthwhile for them if they manage to shut down the rest of the Bigatron. They only have one vehicle. Footballers is still not over yet. They want more of Bigatron. They are bloodthirsty to get for the kills, and when it comes to aggression, they are always on their peak when they're forced to take the fight. Footballers, they're climbing down their high horse now. They don't have a choice. They need to make way down. While they're not having a lot of utilities for healing, but like I mentioned, the first phase always like 0.4% of HP tick off by every second. So on the side of Bigatron, this is where it gets tricky. Can they make it on time into a compound where nobody is actually taking the territory yet? As long as they didn't crash into one of another team's territory or their cities, so it's okay for them. They need to make sure that they have the right judgment call. PWAA also start to make the move while they're going at the edge of the blue zone, playing it very safe and just going around in circles. I don't think they will bomb into any teams anytime soon based on how they rotated. 4 a.m. surprisingly, just say hi and a hello and then goodbye to A1.
You know, what's really surprising is that most of the teams actually prioritize securing the compounds to the South George as well as North George. Instead, not many teams actually opted to take the Mount Gatka in that regards, or in my dictionary, it would be Mount Everest here, as it does have one of the highest mountain terrain here, and possibly 4 a.m. is going to be thinking of heading towards that vicinity here. Meanwhile, what's happening in South George container here? Because as of now, Nova is in the vicinity. We do see ASL Zeus going to be holding the western side of the bridge here. So we are expecting a lot of teams already prioritizing on those urban or warfare. So we are going to be expecting a lot here. Meanwhile, 4 a.m. is going to be taking a very interesting approach here. True. Look at the northern section here. They've opted to go to hang out along the coastlines potentially. And that's a very crazy move here because there are a lot of teams kind of gatekeeping the bridge already in this vicinity. Whereas the rest of the teams from the outside of the circle, we do see BTR, we do see KP, we do see Footballers, we do see Team Secret Jin, and also PW88, who's still kind of lost in the situation here. But as soon as they start docking into the Georgiable Town, things are gonna get a little bit heated up here, Ju.
I have to agree, yeah, it has shifted a bit to the west, but nobody knows for certain the circle are going to end up at the bridge. And sometimes the airdrop kind of gave us a glimpse of the future, the next circle, where would it be? I'm surprised nobody tried to park themselves on top of that Gakka mountain, and I'm also surprised by how 4am approached this one as well. Usually they will rotate this very late, just how like Team Secret Gym plays, but Na'Vi right now, they caught themselves in a situation they don't want to be. They got sprayed down by A1 out of nowhere, and now look at the Sinister is being really sinister himself, making sure nowhere to go for Na'Vi. They pin down all the angles possible for them to exit out, but they have to be careful. They don't want to get stabbed in the back because there's one more team approaching very closely behind if A1 is not being meticulous about this.
Oh, A1. It's really rough to see how A1 has been playing thus far. Like every single time they make a play, it was great, but somehow the rest of the teams in this league, in this finals here, in these globals here, are pretty much playing out of their minds, right? Like when you're on form, things get a little bit different, especially when all the adrenalines are pumping through the veins here. You kind of play, you kind of show some inhuman reactions from time to time, and occasionally we do see it coming a lot from the top teams yet. And for A1, it feels like they've not felt enough yet in that regards, in my honest opinion here, Chu.
A1 is like, I don't know, they kind of lost their mojo these days. They used to be the teams that have surprised us, but wait for it, Na'Vi is not down against 4am. It might be their downfall if they keep on losing man here. The Teaski will be go down first straight, a clean kill coming out from 4am. There's a neat work coming out from them, but look at how 4am approaches. They always go for individuals kills, and they don't go for is in unison. We're talking about them. If you can get the kill, just go for it. We don't mind while the others are looking at different angles. But the rest of Na'Vi, they know they cannot fight this head on. When it comes to CQC against 4am, it's too of a big risk for them to fight against. So it's best for them to stand down first, go for this engage, part ways, try to locate themselves in a better position to make sure they prioritize the center of the circle first instead of forcing the fight that they will probably handicap right now.
Yeah, and at the same time as well, seeing how the circle is pretty much coming in towards the eastern section here, and as the saying goes, a famous quote from the Indonesian and Malaysian scene here, it seems like it is circle scam, because apparently everyone kind of docked themselves in towards the urban side of Georgia Pole, but guess what? The circle is going to force them all out and towards the outskirts of Mount Gatka, as well as the river intersection here, where things get a little bit feisty here, as there are a couple of strategic compounds that teams may or may not want to prioritize here. In this case, Konina Power is the closest to one of those compounds, which can be devastating for every single team rotating from the eastern side. And you can see a huge mess of teams and in rotation shifts from all these teams, trying to find the most ideal spot for may or may not where the circle is going to be landing here. In this case, Team Secret Jin, they finally made their way here. They were one of the last to reach into the zone here. They found themselves a very nice mountain top towards the northeast corner, which, to my surprise, is a good spot for them here, because the rest of the teams are pretty much centralized in the town. And guess what? It's going to be open seasons for them if they can hold those northeast mountain of this next phase of zone here, Chu.
That's what I mentioned before. Why is nobody parked themselves on the Gatka Mountain first? Because obviously it's one of the most crucial, paramount position that everybody needs to snatch themselves onto the territory. But Potato here is spraying it out towards the other side of Football's, but it's a bit subpar, not going to connect yet, and he gets away with it unscathed. He's happy for now, but for how long? While the other teams struggling to make just to stay survive, or be sure to stay afloat for the boat. I'm not sure with this kind of crowd going in. Look at this. Everybody's going to get busy, but this Everly will still not gonna let it off. Football is trying to finish off Lovas in one of the fraggers, the best in the world. Well, so with the DP28, DP28, I have to say, is one of the rising popular rifles these days. Not real rifles, one of the rising popular weapons that are being used a lot for very long range. I'm surprised how these guys can actually control their barrels from this distance. Their recoils for DP20 is not an easy task to do.
Exactly. When it comes to this stage, global stages, every single gun needs to be trained in muscle memory just for zero recoil. In this case, teams who prioritize the DP here, they prioritize on this magazine size, which allows you to do way more large damage here. And to my surprise, if you play a lot of PUBG Mobile here, having a no extended mag and an extended mag on an N4 makes a huge difference between getting a knock and also getting the finish, or maybe even blowing up a vehicle here. So having those additional 6 bullets or maybe on the DP is going to allow you to do some serious damage in terms of weaponry and armory in this regards here. But as soon as they say here, big clutter of blows are coming here. Look at this, Chari. This is doing so much work with the DP here. And football is a huge blow in terms of both their armor and utilities. On top of that, their vehicles are pretty much shredded to pieces as well. And ASL, they are going to be holding the containers here. They have a very, very interesting spot here, which they can kind of hold their ground against the southern approach here. But everyone from the eastern side might potentially get a couple of free easy pickings here. And football is in no prime position to attack them yet, as they pretty much dock themselves in the compound. They're waiting for the next moment to fight, because as of now, Chu, look at this. 4 circle, 16 teams alive, 15-1 alive, and guess what, Chu? Team Secret is still alive.
Well, not everybody can stay alive. Just now, Spav Arrow with Limex make sure they got the first one to be out there. Drowning himself. I think he tried to cross the bridge, but he got ambushed by so many teams on the side of Zeus and Australia is also footballers. It's going to be a tough fight for all of them. There's only one team that actually will survive from this fight, because there's only one team will leave this compound to make sure they got themselves in the center of a circle. Now, the next circle is tough for the players. It's going to be between the river on a little bit towards the eastern side of Jobo Pool, on the outskirts of ruins and hospital. While A1 right now, a lot of players being fished out and pinned down underneath this bridge. Nobody wants to take the higher ground bridge because it's too wide and open, so they opt out for swimming, which is not a great option as well.
Well, this is what I'm talking about, right? Team Secret Jade having the bestest of time with the northeast section here, but they're getting a little bit greedy here by spreading out their forces here. But hearing all these gunshots coming from the western side of the circle here, I think that's the right play here. Meanwhile, that's gonna be Matic down here as Jax gets clip him off with the Kobe. So A1, they somehow managed to hold down the fort in this compound, but little did they know, they're getting some serious heavy fire coming in from Nova as well as Alpha 7 from all these long range fights. And Nova, they're still going to be docking themselves in the bridge there. Not the most ideal approach, but I don't think they have much of a choice here, considering that that's how packed this next phase of circle is. So Nova, they are going to try to hide inside the river here to try and mask their presence before actually stinging out for W. And Jimmy Boy is going to be one of the first ones to make it along the shore here. Meanwhile, Alpha 7 is still pretty much occupied with their fight against A1 now. So that's going to be an opportunity for XQF Nova to actually creep their way into the next phase of the zone here, Chu.
Well, speaking of how they dug themselves underneath this bridge, I'm not a big fan of this. It's kind of a very small space for them to play along and not much space to move. This is what I talked about. One nade to just obliterate the teams underneath the bridge. I've seen Bigatron did this before to stay under the bridge, but not all the teams can execute that. Digital Athletics trying to play a very risky game here. We're talking about them cornering themselves at the edge of the bridge, so it's kind of hard for them to move. All they can do is just swim and swim, but for how long? They're gonna get soaked so bad and might just get a flu underneath there. But they need to dog themselves upwards, because it will not be in the next circle, and the next circle shifted so hard. It's still centralized. It's gonna be a very long game. It's a very late game, but Secret Jin, they will not be pardoned yet. Who have known? Who have thought? There's so many teams have their eyes on this side, and they cannot get out from this compound at all. The moment they stepped out, look at that spray come out from all the teams that want them to go down. It's going to be really a big mess later on in Cosmos, tossing out the smoke grenade, hoping he have a window to run away, but can he make it out on time? Kangzo, he's waiting for 2K, but can he hop into the buggy? Well, GGZ, he's being left outside. No, he's gonna bleed out with the blue. Nobody gonna help him out. Zaxi taking football on Sonke, but Zaxi reverse damage onto him back. Cosmos taking out Nina Power. This is where the mess starts. The massacres happen. World War III starts. PW888 will be the first one to be down among the 13 teams on 13th place.
Now Kanina Power now in some serious fight here. RRQ gonna go in for the push as well. Molotov gonna be zoning them out here, forcing them out to open. D2E gonna flush them out potentially here. Hoping for team to actually tag team this fight. Kanina Power gonna be running around here. D2E looking for the hunt here. Meanwhile, it's all by himself. He eventually gets taken down here. Kanina Power gone through. Gets taken out. Frozen still outplaying the rest of the teams here. A couple sprays are coming in. He has the DP and RRQ. They misplayed that play here, but T9 is here to save the day to try and keep things alive for RRQ. Frozen is gonna be the last man standing for inside of Kanina Power and RRQ. They somehow still manage to keep things interesting here. Meanwhile, T9 needs to pick up his rest of the teams here. Smokes are coming in, but Frozen, he's looking to close them all out. He wants to beat the hero. Frozen, he lobs a nade, but he doesn't exactly know where he is. T9 gets sprayed down. Oh my god! And that's gonna be RRQ getting taken out through the smoke. He's blind, he's crazy. And Frozen is here to chill them all to death too.
Yep, he's letting it go all the way. And that's an unleashed terror that he just saw. Oh, but never mind. At 4 a.m., we're going to back to Sinha, who's struggling to stay alive without the blue pressuring him. There's no way he can make it out easily now. So it will be fetched by Sinha. He got for the grab call. Now, where would they go? Beneath them, there's Alpha 7. They can finish off the kill easily. Another team, Rob Slayers, will be out. Sinha try to spot out where are the rest of the teams that are being knocked down just now. They cannot spot them because there's too high above on their high horses. Alpha 7 Law is just beneath them. The next one, Bigatron, will be out on 7th place, while Zeus still swimming, taking a deep dive underneath the bridge. For how long? Nova is sharing the same place but got shut down by Zol. And Nova is at place at 6 while Zeus is still testing out the waters. While 4 a.m. start to triumph and start to keep getting a lot of kills on the high ground here. Even though they're not in the circle, but they're taking this opportunity to get as much kills as possible.
Jude, this might be a repeat in history coming from PEC here because Zeus taking a page off the Chinese teams here. The submarine strat is working out for Zeus because Abeli is doing so much work in the underwaters here. He's getting so much information, proving a lot of a detrimental damage in that regards here. However, the game must continue because Team Secret Jin here, one of the easiest rotation coming in from the east side, has done fantastic work here. Meanwhile, so gets a free road kill on the process here. Hasaki getting knocked here. Team Secret Jin not going to be letting them off the hook here as the rest of 4 a.m. needs to cross this river. Not looking good for them. Meanwhile, Kanina Power has the advantage on top of that as well. So tries to make a run for here as they are going to be crashing into his next fatal zone. And so gets sprayed down and he's going to go out. And that's going to be a GZ from Team Secret Jin, dominating the circle with 8 kills in the process here. Prime position for Team Secret Jin to actually clutch out for this chicken dinner for this game. Meanwhile, Zeus will retreat from the seas here as they have to get some oxygen as they are going to be docking towards the northwest section here. Team Secret Jin not going to be making things easier for them here because now with the final 3 team available, Team Secret Jin knows exactly where the rest of the teams are. 2 in the water, 2 in the house. Team Secret Jin in prime position to close this out for this game here, Chu.
I don't think it's a great idea to actually take a deep dive here in the river. If it's actually the ocean, it's fine. But the river kind of have 2 riverbanks, so it's easy to get cornered by the teams. So Zeus need to dock up as soon as they did, then now they do, and they need to figure things out how to climb up this hill. I'm hoping for the circle to favor now. It's down to the circle's game here. The one that taken down for is gonna be 2K, and he got back what he deserved. It's gonna be 1-2-1 trade for the teams, but not much trading to be done here by Zeus. There's so little number of men left. And now Cosmos trying to smoke up and trying to cook the grenade, hoping it will be on the building side. Can he dodge that one? Clip a lot, huge chunk of HP down. He cannot finish the Joel, but Cosmos just managed to help, being helped by the Molotov just now. And Cosmos tried to go for Belly. He still managed to take one down. That's a miracle play, a clutch done by Zeus Belly now. All he needs to do is just to reload himself with that death box next to him and just reheal. In the meantime, hoping that he got enough time to actually reset himself for the next war against Secret Jin. They have still 3 men down there. While we have also Kanina Power 2 men well and alive. Nobody give the attention to Kanina Power because if this keeps on going on, Kanina might just take the chicken dinner away.
Yep, as of now here, TSJ, they understand the circumstances right now. They've got 10 seconds to clear off Abely. If they do not kill Abely in time here, they're in some trouble here. But eventually, Kangzo with the nade will get the job done. But now, their next objective here is going to be fighting against the guys from Kanina Power. It's going to be 2v3 situation. And guess what? Kanina Power, they've got all the advantage. It's going to be no man's land for Team Secret Jin. How will they rotate this here? Konzo in perfect prime position here. This is going to be Kanina Power's time to shine to get the chicken dinner. Can they do it? Because Gonzo needs to be taken out, and Team Secret Jin, they don't have the opening yet. And it's all about the patient game here. Kanina Power, Frozen.
They got themselves quite a solid compound, so it's okay for them to stay their grounds for now for Kanina Power. But what's need to be done is Team Secret Jin. How they cross this street? Will the circle last minute favor them? Because we never know. Sometimes the circle just shift to those actually on the unlucky positions. But right now, Secret Jin, do they have enough smoke to build a bridge of smoke to move towards and forwards against Kanina Power? This is a risky move coming out. They cannot overpick themselves. They have the higher ground. The Kanina Power's Gonzo, especially Frozen. It's 2v3 for now, yes, but it seems like the better ground they have is actually on Kanina Power. They got one on Gonzo. And Kangzo is, oh no, it's 1 trade to none. 2v2 now, it even for the odds. Team Secret Jin, can they save their mates? Only 1 tree to be the cover for temporary. But how much longer? It clip a lot for their HP with the nades being tossed by Kanina Power. Oh, Frozen, really close.
Great shot there coming from Frozen. Now he's going to be able to reset this fight here. Team Secret Jin, the circle is coming here. 2K is going to be out and open as well. Kanina Power, they know this is going to be game for them here. They're going to go for the rush. They crack the pick up here, but the circle is coming in. Goes for the spray. Okay, gets the spray as well. That's going to be the punish that they need here. Kanina Power is very awkward position. The mollies are coming in. Team Secret Jin going to be pressuring on Frozen here. The crazy man is alive. 1v2 situation. Can he take them all out? Team Secret Jin in a very choke spot here. He's got the cover coming in from Frozen here with the loot box here, but as of now, Frozen, he's out of utilities. The Molotovs get tossed once again. They're going to go for the pixel shots in. Team Secret Jin, they know they have numbers game, but as of now, positioning wise, Frozen has got the upper hand. The nade! Oh no, Frozen! It's gonna be some trouble, and it's dead! Team Secret Jin gets the chicken!